And then we're going to add some coffee onto the top of that, and then we're going to pour some water in. And it all gets mixed up. But generally speaking, the sugar stayed on the bottom and the coffee stayed on the top. Not so good. Now, if you can imagine this glass tube as being the groove or the fissure in a tooth, and we're chewing some sugarless product like soy flour biscuit or something, and then we add some coffee, which is like sugar if you like, so we can see the difference, and then we pour some water in. You can see that generally speaking the soy stays in the bottom, and it's been loosely packed. In terms of chewing food, it's packed hard. If I was to pack it hard, you get no difference at all. But even doing nothing, and of course you've got the force of the water coming down on the coffee, and it doesn't penetrate very far, but what you've got to think of is that less sugar is in there, so it's less able to cause demineralisation. So we've got to think about chewing sugarless food before we chew any food like confection or something like that. Now if we look at this again as a tooth, and that's the fissure, the bottom of a fissure or a pit in the chewing surface of a molar, and we chew some say a calcium tablet. So there it is in there, and then we chew some sugar, which we're using coffee because we can see it a bit easier. So you can see that the coffee and that doesn't mix. So if we were to compact that down, it wouldn't mix at all. However, we'll put some water in there, which is like forcing something else in there and making it moist. And you can see the disturbance that it had, and of course you won't get that inside a tooth because it's so small. It's like the space between your fingers. But what we're trying to say is that if you can fill up that space between your fingers, or the space inside your tooth, that's inside the pits and fissures in the chewing surface of your teeth, with a sugarless product, and preferably something like calcium, it prevents the sugar getting right down to the bottom where the cavities start. The cavities actually, the bacteria have been forced down here instead of being up there. Well, most of the bacteria will be down here. And that area there is where tooth decay starts. So we've got a total separation of the sugar from where but you'll get some acid demineralisation there, but because we've got calcium here, the calcium tends to neutralise any acids and actually aid any remineralisation. So this is a fairly important thing, to chew a sugarless food before you eat, or something like a calcium tablet, although you really need a special calcium tablet to make this work best. But certainly any calcium tablet will give you a beneficial effect.